and welcome to my channel, Naturally Beautiful Girl. I thought I'd just kind of do a more chatty video where I talk about brands in the clean beauty space that I tend to forget about. I really enjoyed the video I did where I was ranking clean beauty brands. I will link that video up above. If you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend it. I just had a lot of fun with that video, and I realized I kind of want to do more videos like that on my channel, so hopefully you guys are down for it. But I thought it would be really fun to just talk about clean beauty brands that I tend to forget about. I realized that a lot of them don't have a ton of new launches. They're not constantly launching new products, and also the other secret to it is that a lot of these brands aren't big into sending out PR. I don't get PR from a lot of brands. In fact, I still purchase the majority of the products that I talk about on my channel. But even with larger content creators in the clean beauty space, I don't see them being sent PR from these brands. And I think that's another reason why we're not hearing about them all the time. So I think one of the important things to think about in this video, and it's one of the reasons I actually want to sit down and film this video, is the idea of like more conscious and slow beauty. I think the clean beauty space as a whole, I'm guessing, would probably say like conscious slow beauty is a good thing. However, it's difficult for brands because, as you'll see with a lot of these brands that aren't constantly launching new products, they're not in the forefront of our minds. And we're thinking about brands like Ilia, like Kosas. Her Weiss has been launching a lot recently, like those brands that are just like have a lot of releases coming out, where they're more in the forefront of our minds because we're seeing these new products and we're like, oh yeah, Ilia, oh yeah, Kosas. It's like reminding us of these products. But then when I think about brands, for instance, like Hemp Beauty, who aren't doing a lot of launches all the time, they just don't stay in the forefront of my mind as much, and probably not in yours either. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. There's a lot of value in not constantly launching new products and really being mindful in your purchasing and really curating your collection of makeup and, you know, using what you have. And there's definitely value in that. And I don't fault these brands at all for kind of taking that more slow makeup approach. But I feel bad because in a way it hurts the brands because we aren't supporting them, or we aren't thinking about supporting them as often as these brands that are doing a lot of launches. So part of why I want to sit down in this video is to just kind of talk about all of that and have that discussion, and also hopefully remind you about these really cool brands that are in the clean beauty space that just don't get as much attention as some of the other brands. I am part of the whole problem with these brands not being talked about because I don't talk about them, but part of why I don't remember to talk about them is because they're not constantly launching new products. And it's also this dichotomy because I know from looking at the analytics on my channel that when I talk about brand new launches and I get those videos out like right after a product launches, those videos just do better on my channel. So I am incentivized to want to talk about those new launches instead of kind of focusing more on products that have been staples in brands' lines for years. I also want to ask you guys to let me know in the comment section down below if you want to see me create more content around things I already have in my collection, or like products that have been out for a long time and maybe I haven't tried them, or, you know, kind of stuff like that, like not always the newest launches. So let me know what your thoughts are on that. Okay, let's start working through some brands. So the first brand that these brands didn't immediately pop into my head. I had to like look around on Credo, Detox Market, like all those websites to really remind myself of these brands, because that's the whole problem. Like I don't think about them that often. The first one I realized I really don't think about is Antonym Cosmetics. And Antonym Cosmetics, I feel like when I first started in clean beauty, it was one of the big brands. It had a little bit of a higher price point. And I remember starting out, I felt like Antonym was too expensive for me. I felt like I really couldn't afford their products. And so I never really got to try them when there was hype around Antonym, like kind of back like 4 years ago at this point, which is crazy. I've had my channel for like 4.5 years. But back around 4 years ago when they were really hyped. And now that I'm in a position where I could try Antonym in terms of like I can afford the products, especially with the money that I make from YouTube ads and from you guys using my affiliate links, like, which I greatly appreciate. Like I could afford to try Antonym. However, I guess I don't really think about trying them that much because they don't really launch new products. I feel like the last big launch that I remember is their foundation, which was kind of like the end for me of Antonym having an allure, because when they launched that foundation, the shade range is awful. I did look at the shades of the foundation in the Credo in Boston because they do, or at least the last time I was there, they were carrying the foundation, and there's no shade that's light enough for my really fair skin. So I was just kind of like, ugh. And to be honest, the shade range is just not great, like for lighter skin tones or for deeper skin tones. It's just like not a good shade range. And that was kind of the end of me being interested in Antonym. And also, I was really curious, and I still hear really good things about their blushes, like their baked blushes. And one of the things about Antonym that was really innovative at the time was their more sustainable like bamboo packaging. I just never got around to trying them, and then the hype kind of died down. Another one that I completely forget about is Lily Lolo, and I remember Lily Lolo very distinctly when I first started my channel because they were one of the few clean beauty brands that actually had eyeshadow palettes. Mostly in the clean beauty space, you could just buy like single eyeshadows back when I started, and Lily Lolo was one of the only brands that actually sold full eyeshadow palettes. And I also remember them because the quality on them was terrible. I remember the first one I tried, and I did a review on it, and it was horrible. Like the quality was horrible. And because of that, I just kind of wrote off the whole brand. And I don't think I've ever tried out another product from the brand other than those eyeshadow palettes. I was really curious, and I still honestly have a bit of curiosity about these. They had these face palette duos where there was like a bronzer and a highlighter, or like a blush and a bronzer. I'll put pictures up above here. But those always intrigued me. I always wanted to try them out, but I never did, in part because the eyeshadow palettes were just so lackluster for me. And that's the whole thing, is I can't really think of any other new launches from Lily Lolo. Like they've all just kind of been a blur, and none of them have really stood out to me. I think I got really unlucky in trying out a product that I just really didn't like from the brand, and then I just kind of assumed that the rest of the products weren't going to be that good. Another one that I forget about all the time is Gressa. And Gressa is actually a brand that I've been interested in trying because I remember back when I started that the Gressa Serum Foundation was like one of the most raved about foundations in the clean beauty space. But like I said, at that time, I didn't feel comfortable spending that amount of money to purchase the foundation. And because of that, I've never tried the foundation. I've also heard really good things. They have like liquid, I think they have like blushes and also like highlighters. And I know they have their cream eyeshadows. I tried a cream eyeshadow from them. I wasn't thoroughly impressed, but like that's kind of like where I was with the brand. But that's another brand that's just not like as talked about as it was. Like it was so hyped up, 4 years ago, and I feel like that hype has really died off, and I just don't hear people talking about it, and I genuinely kind of forget about the brand. Like every once in a while it'll pop into my mind and I'm like, ooh, maybe I should try that Gressa foundation, and then I'm also like, I could try it, but I also don't know if anyone on my channel would care to hear a review on it. If you guys would like to have a review of Gressa, let me know, because it's another brand that I forget about, but I am still very curious about because there was so much hype. They haven't really done much to expand their range of products. I feel like they've had kind of the same range for quite a while. Another one that falls into this category for me is Maya Chia. I remember, once again, Maya Chia being a really talked about brand. They were in a few subscription boxes, and that kind of got everybody talking about them. I do have a Maya Chia product that I absolutely love, which is their Refreshment face mask. But that's the only product I think I've tried from the brand. Like that's it. And I tried that one, well, partly because it just sounded like such a lovely mask, and it's this beautiful blue color, and I love it. Like it's a staple in my routine. But I have never tried their Maya Chia highlight of the day, which is, I've heard, a really beautiful highlighter. I just haven't gotten around to it. And once again, their brand, that they do have new launches, like the Refreshment is a relatively recent launch, but they're not constantly launching products and kind of get lost in the shuffle a little bit. Another one is Hint Beauty, and Hint Beauty, once again, was one of the big brands in the clean beauty space when I started. And I used to use their concealer. They have like a little pot concealer, and that was my ride or die concealer. And part of the reason I shifted away from that is there was the growth of like liquid concealers in the clean beauty space. And to be honest, I find those a lot easier to work with than more of like a potted cream concealer. I always had a little bit of a problem with the shade match of that concealer. They did expand their range actually. And now there's a shade that I actually think would be perfect for my skin tone, but I have found other products I like and just haven't had a draw to go back and try that. I also know that their mascara used to be really popular as well. Don't hear people talking about that. And once again, it's a brand that, yeah, they expanded the shade range of their concealer, but that's like the most recent thing I've seen happen with the brand. And I just haven't seen a lot of innovation or releases of new products. And I feel like Hemp Beauty is like one of those brands where if you have a staple product from them, you're going to keep repurchasing that product. However, there's not much to really draw you to trying a product from the brand or trying the brand for the first time. Another brand that I used to talk about quite a bit and then I haven't really talked about much or really thought about much is Au Naturel. Actually, out of my own curiosity the other day, I went on their website because I was just like trying to figure out if they launch new products or anything like that. And I saw they kind of repackaged some of their products. They haven't really launched much. I really like their cream foundation. They have a foundation stick. That product is really, really good. I don't know. I just haven't had much of drawing me to the line. And I feel like they were really big a few years ago. I've tried out quite a few of the products on the brand and a lot of them are good. It's just there really hasn't been anything new for me to try and talk about. Another brand that I forget about constantly is 100% Pure. Once again, 100% Pure used to be one of the big brands in the clean beauty space. And when I started, I remember just being so impressed by 100% Pure because their makeup was made with fruit pigments, and I really appreciated like how organic, how natural, how pure the brand is. And I feel like if you want to talk about clean brands, 100% Pure is probably one of the cleanest in terms of ingredients, which has always really impressed me. And for quite a while, they were doing a lot of launches. They had new makeup coming out, they had new skincare coming out, and then that just kind of like petered off. And I really wish to kind of see them come back into the clean beauty space because I feel like they were one of the original brands, one of the innovators, and certainly one of the first brands. Actually, I think they were like the first brand I really tried in the clean beauty space. I remember getting their face and eyeshadow palettes and I thought that was so cool because once again, they were one of the only brands that had palettes at that time. I miss talking about them, but there just hasn't been much happening with the brand. I'll wrap up with a few other brands that I feel like are honorable mentions. And these are brands that if I didn't have a holy grail product from the brand, I would just genuinely forget about the brand. One of them probably is going to surprise you, which is Juice Beauty, but I love the blemish clearing serum. That's my holy grail product. Always have it. Can't live without it. Like you open up my cabinet in my bathroom and that product is sitting there. If I'm traveling, that product is with me. Like I don't go anywhere without it because I have acne prone skin, and that is one of the best products I found for really helping to keep my skin clear. But if I didn't have that product, I would genuinely forget about the brand. They do have quite a few new launches, but it's just not many things grab me from the brand, and their launches in makeup have been very so-so. Like I have yet to find Juice Beauty makeup products that I really am impressed by. Like I feel like the quality and the performance in so many other brands is better, and I think that's one reason I kind of forget about them. And they do have a lot of skincare launches, but they also have a pretty high price point for their skincare, even though it's like kind of everywhere. It's sold at Ulta, and you know, a lot of clean beauty retailers. I genuinely just forget about them. I feel really bad saying this about the brand because I really love the brand, but that's Carry Gron as well. I absolutely love their liquid, one of the best lip balm products, probably the best lip balm product I've tried. And also I really love their body oil. It's a fantastic body oil. It's really nourishing but lightweight and absorbs in really easily. But that's another brand that just, I feel like doesn't get talked about enough. And I think one of the reasons is they have a really curated line of products, which I 1000% appreciate. And it's one of the reasons I love the brand. They really just want to have a small focused line of products. However, because of that, they aren't constantly launching new products and they kind of get lost in the shuffle a little bit. And I think it's a really, really great brand that, yeah, it's sad for me to be including this in this video because I remember it because there's a few products from them that I absolutely love. But I feel like in the collective clean beauty space, it's not really in the forefront of people's minds. Let me know in the comment section down below, what are some brands that you just, in the clean beauty space, that you just don't hear people talking about? I'd be curious to know. And also if you want me to try out or talk about some of these brands, let me know that as well because I am curious and I do want to make content that you guys enjoy. So if you would enjoy that, let me know. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And of course, subscribe to my channel and click the bell button so you're notified of when I post new videos. And come follow me on Instagram. I'm at naturallybeautifulgirlkat there. And once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!